Greetings, beloveds, love and immunity. Coming to you guys today with a little testimony about where I'm at in my evolution today. Growing beautifully in myself, growing beautifully in my understanding, growing within the evolution in which I am at this present moment is, if I can say I am my Father in one, that would be the testimony in which I recognize myself at today. I've come through so much, beloveds. Just coming into this truth, the truth that lives within me, the truth that is needed to be manifested within me, understanding myself on a level outside of everything that I've been taught, everything that I've been told, and everything that I've been led to believe. Just understanding who I am on a level of my own creation, on a level of my own truth, and then on the level of my own self-discovery, beloveds. I'm feeling like life itself. I'm feeling so opened and awakened and conscious of who I am becoming at this present moment. I'm always going to be becoming. I'm always going to be evolving in as evolution itself. But at this present moment, I just feel happy to know that I am evolving in the state of being where I'm conscious, and aware that I am evolving, that I'm able to see myself not just on the level of external, but to see myself on the level of creation, where I see where my thoughts take me, where I see where my beliefs were taking me, where I see myself on a level where I can say, I want this and I don't want this, or this doesn't make me feel good and this does make me feel good. And because it makes me feel good, I'm going to do it and not care about anything outside of that, because, beloveds, I'm not governed to anything outside of me. You and I aren't. We have never been, but because we're taught outside of our own understanding, this is something that we don't recognize, and we're not aware that we are creating someone else's consciousness and someone else's reflection when we are not aware that we are our own consciousness and that we are our own evolution. And this is something where I'm able to be aware of at this present moment in my life, where it states I and my Father are one. Well, I'm one with my thoughts today. And it's a beautiful, beautiful testimony, because at one point I didn't realize that my unhappiness, my depression, my pain, my guilt, my shame, my lack, my worry, my frustration, my judgment, and my abuse to self was because I was creating outside of myself. I was creating in somebody else's understanding about me. I was creating in someone else's perception about how life should be governed for me. I was creating outside of somebody else's. I was not creating outside of someone else's. I was creating in someone else's understanding. So the one that lives within me was going to suffer. It was going to cause pain. It was going to cause lack. It was going to cause shame. It was going to cause guilt. It was going to cause frustration, because I wasn't able to share that testimony with my own understanding. So how could the understanding in me ever get the comfort and get the peace and get the joy and get the ability to know that's not what it enjoys? And that's why you're in pain, beloved. That's why you're suffering, beloved. That's why you're going through everything that you're going through, because you haven't given yourself to yourself. Everything you're trying to establish, everything you're trying to find, everything you're trying to know, everything you're trying to become, it does not belong to you, beloved. And this is something that we don't really get a better understanding of, because we just understand life as we have been taught. But something inside of you is needing to be its own teacher and its own discovery and its own evolution and its own existence. And when you take from that evolution and that growth and that existence and don't give that consciousness the ability to grow itself inside of you, it's not going to feel good. It's going to be in a lot of pain. It's just like you fighting against your own growth. It's like you fighting to stay 1, but you have to go to 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. It's like you fighting to be a kid, but your body's growing. You're going through all these growing pains, and your body has to grow because it's evolution. But here you are trying to stay this baby because you don't know that you're evolution itself. And that's where I am today, beloveds. I'm on the point where I understand that without my growth, without my conscious awareness, without my ability to know that I am the creator of life, I'm going to stagnate myself as an internal being, as a body, as a mind, and as a soul. And because of that, the things that I used to be, which was a lot of pain, which was a lot of shame, which was a lot of guilt, which was a lot of doubt, which was a lot of judgment. These are all self. These are things that I was to myself, beloveds. Because here I am, I'm denying myself those things in which I need to grow and to evolve just as a being, just as a body, beloveds. We don't really understand that the consciousness is the evolution of the body. It's the only evolution of this beautiful vessel of life in which we all have been created to govern ourselves as. And when it's stagnated, it is painful. It is so painful, beloved. I had chronic pain for most of my life, not really understanding who I am on the level of being the conscious or the spirit or being the energy body. That chronic pain that I dealt with for so long, it debilitated me on levels in which some days, beloveds, I couldn't get up. Some days I would get up and I would be so drained and so tired that I couldn't function. And some days I would be so depressed that I felt ashamed to be around other people, to share that energy with anyone, because I know that we're not worthy to share in a consciousness or in an awareness and in an unconsciousness that causes more pain. And to me, I feel like I'm better off going somewhere and keeping that negative consciousness out of reality's face, because I can do more harm than I can do any justice. As we see a whole collective whole right now, you can be around the negative energy, and that negative energy will drain you. It will consume you, and it will also take you out of your upliftment, because we don't realize that everything is consciousness feeding off of itself. We believe that it's just people that we're around, but we're not around people. We're around the consciousness that dwells within people. So at this time in my evolution, beloveds, I'm in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful state of being, where I'm recognizing myself on the level of being the creator, on the level of being the evolution that I am seeking to heal. To heal lifetimes, beloveds, lifetimes, generations of disappointment, lack, poverty, shame, guilt, harm, suffering, sickness, sin, death, weakness, evil, darkness. There's so much that I can just continue to go on about, that has lived in me as an evolution, that has lived in me as a stagnation, that has lived in me as a dis-ease, that has lived in me as a suffering, that has lived in me as a pain, that has stunted my growth so detrimentally that I'm here to tell you the testimony. I'm here as his own witness. I'm here as his own testament. So a lot of my present moment today is just about being my own witness, being able to reflect on my own history, being able to reflect on my own state of being, being able to reflect on my own state of mind, and become witness that I'm no longer unconscious to it. And that I can admit, although I didn't teach myself this, I can admit that I was the creator of it. So that's a good and a beautiful understanding, and just feeling and knowing that God is present. It's a beautiful, beautiful state of being in this present moment, because I'm starting to really come into my understanding, my truth, my living truth, my being. as being the human being. I'm coming into the being versus the human that I believed that I was, and that I needed to create in its image, and that I basically was suffering in the human. I had no ability to my own consciousness. I had no ability to my own awareness. I had no understanding to where my pain and where my suffering and where my ability to not enjoy life and my ability to not be able to govern life in a way which made me happy, in a way in which made me feel I was contribution to myself. I was miserable, beloveds. I was really miserable because I had no contribution to the world. A lot of people don't really understand that there's no contribution to the world until it starts to reflect in the world of the Creator. And I felt useless in the external world because I wasn't the creator of that external world. I was, if you can understand me under my perception, under my testimony, I was the devil of that world. What I was doing is I was taking something that's not real and I'm creating it in a world that will harm other worlds and take from other worlds and deny other worlds and sicken other worlds and poison other worlds and make other worlds deadly to their very own consciousness and their very own awareness, beloveds. And this is where I was at. I was stagnating my growth, and not only stagnating my growth, but because I am a creator of all creations, I was also stagnating the growth of others by being a pollution to existence itself. If I'm not creating in my own world, the reflection in which I see in the other world is just a testament to the sickness, the sin, and the death that has been going on internally within my world. If I can witness sickness, if I can witness death, if I can witness evil, if I can witness suffering, if I can witness anything within this kingdom in which only I'm conscious and awareness to, what do you think has been being reflecting inside of the world that creates the external world? It's been that. It's been an evolution of sickness, sin, and death, beloveds. I'm responsible, as we all are responsible for everything that we create in this world. If my reflection is seeing these things, then it's coming from my creation. As being the creator, I'm the internal. And the only thing consciousness can create within, beloveds, the only thing that consciousness can see itself through, beloveds, and the only thing that consciousness can evolve itself through, beloveds, is the vessel in which it is awareness to, and an awareness in, and an awareness through. And that is me. That's why God gave us eyes. He gave us ears. He gave us this vessel in order to be the creation and the creator of life. But not only to be that, to be the witnesser and the witness of its own reflection, and being conscious of the reflection that lives outside of me. It just speaks as a reflection of the mind, the universal mind that governs the human being. Okay, the being is the person who creates for the human, but when you see the human, you see the mindset and the mentality of what this mind has been creating as a collective whole. And when you see the things you see reflecting sickness, sin, and death outside of you, then you see where evolution has not taken place within your own understanding. When I can't witness that I am responsible for poverty that I can see through my consciousness, that I see through my eyes, when I can't reflect to see the sickness that I see through my reflection in my eyes and my consciousness, beloveds, then I'm unconscious that I am a creator. I'm unconscious that I've done these things, but not just done these things. I've added to this consciousness or unconsciousness to allow other people also to be harmed and suffering in that same reflection, beloveds. And this is something that I am beautifully, beautifully, beautifully enjoying right now in this present moment. It's just being aware of my part and the part that I played in the reality that I reflect before my eyes, beloveds. As long as I can see sickness, sin, and death before my eyes, then it's part of my consciousness. And when I'm not doing anything to uplift that consciousness, when I'm not doing anything to help better that consciousness, I am just what you would call, I'm just creating in the devil's playground. I'm just adding to the sickness, the sin, and the death that reflects the external consciousness that lives outside of me. If I can't see the conscious mind that I am, then I'm going to be the reflection, which is going to be the unconscious. And always, the unconscious mind is sick. It's sinful and it is deadly because it is not aware that it is the creator of its own reflection, in its own evolution, in its own growth, in its own sustainability. And if my reflection is not reflecting any of those things, and I'm not talking about the physical or the external reflection, I'm talking about the internal one, the awareness. My sustainability is not in anything in the world, because that's not what creates the world. We all know that we were created inside of creation, and then we came into the world as the body. So when I can't understand my reflection, when I can't see my reflection as being the creator and then coming out and being the reflection of that creation, then at this present moment I am unconscious of my own evolution. I'm stagnation to my own evolution, and not just mine, but all other reflections that sees through the same consciousness in which I am creator and creation and conscious awareness too. And that's a beautiful testimony at this present time in my life, because I'm aware, beloveds. I'm so aware of what I've done, how I've acted, how I've stunted my growth, how I've stunted other people's growth, how I've collectively harmed people by my own ignorance, by my own misunderstanding, by my own misrepresentation of being a creator of someone else's creation, that it doesn't honor me. Why inside of this beautiful conscious awareness, why would I want to create anything that causes suffering to me? Because if I'm suffering, my reflection will also be the eyes that I see through these eyes suffering as well. I and my Father are one. So what I see in myself, I see in others. What I evolve in myself, I evolve in others. So if I'm not evolving in awareness and in consciousness, I'm keeping other people out of their consciousness and their awareness as well. So if I'm ignorant to my own testimony, I can't be someone else's testimony. And you see this as a reflection of humanity right now. You have all these testimonies where you have people leading and guiding and governing and being under the authority to be in a position to help or lead or teach, but their reflection is not evolving or sustaining consciousness or awareness. It's not even aware that it is taken away from that consciousness and that awareness, beloveds. And this is something that at this present moment I feel so honored to be in my own ability to be conscious and aware that I was once not abiding in my truth, that I was once so unconscious and so ignorant to my own well-being that it caused me so much pain. It caused me so much discomfort. It caused me so much dis-ease. It caused me so much of my life's ability to evolve and to grow and to feel the joy in which only I can create, to feel the peace in only which I can create, to be the embodiment of the life in only which I could create, to be there for me, not to be there to do what other people have asked of me. Like working a job that does not make me happy, like being in a relationship with someone who does not make me happy, like accepting anything outside of me when the only thing that I have, the only thing that I can ever be, the only thing that I can ever understand is all reflecting as my awareness and my consciousness that I am the creator of those things. But when I don't understand that I am the creator of those things, then I just have to go out there and be with people who don't accept me, be in situations that don't make me feel the joy that I am to myself, being in a collective whole body of humanity that does not reflect love, peace, harmony, and joy, and then tells itself that it does. And it's so unaware that it doesn't, that it makes you believe that you have to continue doing these external things to get there and to become that and to be worthy of that. But still inside of me, I'm dealing with chronic pain. I'm dealing with mental health issues. I'm dealing with a state of being that cannot find peace, and it's begging, it's praying, it's asking, and it's seeking these things in a world which will never, ever be able to give it to me until I understand that I am the only consciousness and an awareness that can create anything. So as long as I'm creating in the world, where's my conscious ability or my conscious understanding or my conscious awareness to understand that world is not conscious, that it is creating sin, sickness, and death? When I'm not conscious in me, how do I understand that I've been giving my happiness and my joy to a world that steals, kills, and destroys it, and then I'm the creator of that, in which I'm allowed to kill, steal, and destroy me? These are things at this present moment that I have become witness to, that I have become conscious and aware to, that I have been governing myself in the devil's playground. And not only have I been governing myself in the devil's playground, beloveds, I was the devil itself in the playground, creating the playground to suffer in. And this might sound a little offensive to many, but this is my testimony. And I see my testimony conscious and aware of itself now, and aware that I can say what I was doing was insane. I was insane in the membrane. And I love saying this. I love understanding myself on a level where I'm not offended by what I say, because I'm aware that what I was doing, it didn't belong to me. It belonged to the beliefs. It belonged to someone else's teaching. It belongs to someone else's unconsciousness. And I was unconscious that I was creating as an unconscious being, along with unconscious creators themselves. And just being where I am at today, I'm loving it. I'm respecting it. I'm honoring it. And I'm also evolving in my own consciousness and my own awareness, and being able to catch that when I'm in pain, it's because somewhere out there in that world, I'm trying to reflect that same pain that doesn't see that it's unconscious of its own pain. And where I find my peace, and when I find my comfortability and my sustainability to take myself out of that pain, is being conscious in the present moment and realizing that as long as I'm trying to live in that world, seek anything in that world, become anything in that world, I'm always going to be pain. I'm going to be the pain body, because I am the creator of the living body. I'm the creator of everything that this body reflects back to itself. So if I'm seeing that pain in the world, beloveds, I'm the creator of that pain in my internal world. And this is something that is a beautiful testament to evolution and to the sustainability of your consciousness. A lot of us believe we have to sustain material things, but beloveds, material things are unconscious, because here you are, you're given all your conscious ability to sustain something that you're creator of, and that's insanity. I mean, it's insanity at its root. It's insanity at its greatest evolution. And a lot of us don't realize that insanity rules the mind of the world. It's present in everything that we see. Here I am, pure consciousness, the only ability to bring myself joy, honor, faith, sustainability, love, peace, harmony, and goodwill. But I'm seeking it in a world that does not offer it. You have inequality, you have racism, you have hate, look at the world. And now we can't see the reflection of why it's not in the world, because, beloveds, it's unconscious in the creator of the world that creates it in all worlds. So if I'm not creating in me peace, love, and joy, how can I get out there in that world and receive it? It's just not possible. And being at this present moment, being the being of my own understanding, being the being of my own consciousness and my own awareness, it's like killing the devil in which I was creation of and creation over, and seeing that I'm no longer adding suffering, not just to my own kingdom, not just to my own body, because, beloveds, I felt chronic pain so bad that it was debilitating. It's like, what life do you have when you're in a body that's so uncomfortable, that's so in pain, that's so unloved, that's so unwelcome, that doesn't even understand its own consciousness and awareness? What good are you to life when you're so unconscious that you are the creator of it? It's like you're dead to the world, but you're not dead to the physical world or the external world that you believe that you are a part of creation in. You're dead to the world of your own consciousness. You're dead to the world of your own love. You're dead to the world of your own ability to be happy, to be joyful, to be healthy, to be sustained, to be a well-being, to be God's reflection or God's image. And today, beloveds, at this present moment, I just wanted to say peace, love, harmony, and joy. And I hope this message reaches you guys in a beautiful awakening, a beautiful evolution, a beautiful elevation to your higher self, beloveds, because we deserve it. We deserve it. As I become more conscious and aware of who I am, I want to give back. I just want to give back because I see the damage. I see the darkness. I see the evil. I see the dis-ease that I've caused. Not just myself, but that I've been a reflection to others. And one thing that I do want to give credit to myself for is knowing, but not knowing, that when I felt bad and I felt down and I felt mentally unfit, I thank myself today because I never wanted to go out into the world and be an external reflection of those things. So a lot of the times where I would go and hide away and be so debilitated that I couldn't function in the external world, I thank God that my consciousness had a little awareness that it knew I was doing the right thing, not just for myself, but the right thing for all other unconscious beings of existence. May consciousness awaken within us all, and may everything that has been keeping us unconscious to that awareness, to that love, to that joy, to that beauty, to that sustainability, may it remove itself, and may it not reflect anything but the consciousness in which